Yo, what's up everybody? How's it going? My name is TyGamer. Thank you for coming to the show today. Oh my fucking god, you guys, I just finished playing the Final Fantasy VII Remake Demo. It is out now, it is on the PlayStation Store. If you have a PS4, do yourself a favor and pick it the hell up right now. We have so much to talk about in a really, condensed amount of time. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get to the point. Oh my god, it's great! It's gorgeous, the gameplay is flawless. There are some areas that I didn't get just because it's so different, but I love everything about it. And today we are talking all things Final Fantasy VII. So strap in, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a big one.
So it's finally here! No more wishing you were at those conventions to maybe get a chance to play this demo, because now you can do it from the comfort of your own home. The Final Fantasy VII Remake Demo has a lot of new and different ways to spice up how the game is played, and it looks vastly better than its original that was released in 1997. This gameplay is all from the demo itself, which lasted about an hour in total, and I couldn't be happier with how my experience was. Now, as this is a demo, it is technically an in-progress build of the final game we'll be seeing on April 10th, when it releases for real. Personally, I have always been a fan of Final Fantasy games, and I still need to find time to complete the 15th installment from 2016. And I played the shit out of this game at my buddy's house when I was younger. And back in the day, the combat used to be far more turn-based than you see in this footage here, which leads me to my next point. Now, if you've ever played a Kingdom Hearts game, this game's combat system is fairly similar in both layout as well as execution. Now, while there's not a jumping around or even a jump button option, the combat is fluid and makes you feel powerful without adding too much of that Batman Arkham style fighting where you lock on and fly from enemy to enemy. There's a real technique to the fighting styles of Cloud and Barret, adding two different ways to play in the demo, with many more coming in the full game release. Now, this game does a beautiful job of mixing both turn-based combat with real-time action, allowing the player to use both whenever they need to. For instance, when in battle, you can use square button to attack, and switch between heavy and normal attacks with a press of the triangle button. What's interesting here is that rather than let you lock on and slice and dice your way through enemies as your only means of attack, the game provides players with the same combat system screen in many other Final Fantasy games called commands. You use commands to cast spells, use abilities, items, and limit breaks. So mashing square is the way to go, but like I mentioned previously, there's skill involved with it, and you do need to block and dodge roll at the correct time to successfully avoid getting hit or shot. This is made easier by showing the attack in red under the enemy's health bar. Now, like turn-based games, you can stagger enemies and completely turn the tide of battle in your favor. To do this, listen for dialogue from either Cloud or Barret describing weaknesses certain enemies could have, and use spells or special attacks to increase the enemy's pressure. Once the pressure bar is full, the enemy will become staggered. While staggered, the enemy will be immobile for a certain duration of time, allowing for you to do the most damage you possibly can in that moment. The boss fight against the Scorpion Sentinel allows you to hone all your skills you've been taught to execute over the course of the demo, and you will need to. Sometimes the Scorpion Sentinel will be out of Cloud's reach, and to do any damage to it in that state, you will need to switch to Barret. This is another amazing addition to the game that I just love. It helps really bring the turn-based combat from the original and slaps on the real-time 3D action combat as the perfect ingredient to a fluid and action-packed combat system. That's right, you can now switch through playable characters. In this case, Cloud and Barret are the only two we're exposed to in the game's demo, and like I mentioned before, there will be more to come in the full version of the game. Cloud is your classic melee fighter, and Barret is a ranged attacker. Both are always on the offensive, but depending on the situation, if a turret, boss, or enemy is out of reach, Barret can gun them down, whereas if they are on the ground, Cloud can cut them to pieces. And it looks amazing. Now, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but this game looks just a tiny bit better than the original. Obviously, it looks gorgeous. The footage you see right now is happening right after you press start. Look at Earth! Ah! Okay, that aside, shut up. That aside, the world is stunning. Midgar has never looked like a more industrial and evil place, and that's a compliment. The wide shot of the entire city in the intro cutscene for this demo is stunning, and during gameplay and in-engine cutscenes, the character models' lip-sync animations and movements look next to perfect. So if you're a graphics junkie, this is definitely going to be the game for you. We live in a time where almost every game coming out nowadays is so hyper-realistic you could have mistaken Uncharted 4 for a movie, especially in those damn cutscenes. Gaming is at a height it has never reached before, and with new people getting into games and sharing more experiences within the games they play, now is one of the best times to be a gamer. And this game, Final Fantasy VII Remake, is going to be a showstopper when it hits shelves. Also, can we seriously talk about Aerith's eyes? They're mesmerizing. Now I know, you're probably thinking to yourself, what else could this guy have to say about this game? I feel like he's pretty much covered everything, right? Well, no, we're still going. Smooth gameplay nowadays is a luxury we as gamers are lucky to have. Back when I was playing games like Dark Alliance as a kid on my PlayStation 2, I thought for sure that's the best graphics and fluid gameplay we're ever going to get. And boy am I glad to be proven wrong. That game plays very differently to this one, and obviously it's probably something most of you haven't ever heard of, but my point stands. This game literally runs so smoothly, like smooth as fucking melted butter. I'm not talking about babies' butts, people are weird. Anyway, the game doesn't make you jump, vault, or crouch at all. There's no button assigned to any of those actions. All you need to do is walk forward, and you can do it all without ever having to press down R3 or circle ever again. It's a little thing, but it makes a big difference when playing. Another amazing addition to the remake is the running, or faster movement speed, or whatever you want to call it, it's fucking running. You can simply hold down the right trigger and whoever you're playing as starts sprinting. And no, you can rest easy, there's no stamina bar, so run as long as you'd like. Finally, one of my favorite additions to this game, and you can technically put it under combat, but fuck it, we're already here. When you go into your commands panel in the bottom left to select items, abilities, or spells, the game slows way down, allowing the player a stress-free way to select and execute whatever it is they're trying to do. This allows a smooth way to choose commands without breaking the immersion with the menu that freezes time while you casually choose a command, or leaving the player with a stress that something is going to hit them if they aren't fast enough. I make all of this sound really easy, but in the demo at least, there's a challenge I found myself underestimating and almost paying the price for in the end. Towards the end of your time in the demo, you will come face to face with the Scorpion Sentinel, a boss that if you've played the original before, you'll go in and wipe the floor with. Not in this game though, because this thing jumps all over the place and really makes things interesting. Bosses in this game, from what I've played in the demo, appear to have short in-game cutscenes associated with them once their health drops down to a certain point. But it never breaks away from gameplay. I even continued shooting the damn thing as Barret when it climbed up on the wall to try and regain some health. Not only that, but it ends up shielding itself at one point, forcing the player to find, damage, and expose its weak point. All in all, it's a boss fight and it has several stages, and I won't ruin it all for you just in case you plan to try the demo out yourself, but just know that it's more than worth it. I haven't been more excited for a Final Fantasy game since they remastered Final Fantasy X, and I'm so happy that Square Enix provided a hands-on experience to those of us less fortunate enough to play it at the cons. If you weren't already excited for this game, I hope you are now. They've said that this is the first of many different games they're releasing to retell the story of Final Fantasy VII, meaning this game will span multiple discs just like the good old days. I can't wait to see what else they have in store for us next month.
Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Remember, if you did like this video and you're hyped as hell for Final Fantasy VII Remake, smash that like button and subscribe for more amazing content like this. You bet your ass when that game comes out, I'm going to be all over it trying to cover every single piece of information I can without spoiling it for everybody, of course. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you do want to support the channel further, please consider donating to the Patreon. You can become a Patreon member on the Discord, on the TyGamer Hub, and more rewards are coming in. If you really do like the shirt that I'm rocking right now, link down in the description to my TeePublic store page where you can pick up one of these bad boys for $13 to $20. I'm not in charge of the prices, but yeah, thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. I'm hyped as hell for this game, and I hope you are too. See you in the next one. Bye!